Welcome to the One Night Only podcast, where we're here for only one night and one night only. So if you have your ticket, welcome to the exclusive show. I'm Leo.
I'm Stefano.
I'm a chill.
I'm Belen.
And I'm Moses.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good.
Doing good, chilling.
Tonight we're here to talk about hashtag Stop the Asian Hate. Recently, I've been seeing this movement going around on Instagram. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Like everybody's posting on their Instagram stories and like posts. Has anybody heard about that?
I have. I actually just heard about it like 2 weeks ago. I was just in bed and it popped up on my timeline this video of an elderly man who just got like shoved out of nowhere and he ended up dying. And this
That's
random
crazy.
guy just came out of nowhere and shoved him.
I've seen stuff on my. I feel like I've only seen like one post about it, and I haven't seen the video.
Yeah. I actually just recently seen it. I watched a video on this guy who was going to work on the train and he was trying to move out the way and this guy confronted him and just slashed his whole face from cheek to cheek.
Oh,
my
I've
God.
seen that one too.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Like a
Wait,
box.
that's like an actual video?
Oh well, he doesn't have it's I seen it on the news. It wasn't on the video. There's no video on that. Yeah, it's crazy.
I read an article on him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, is it that
I don't know how to
nobody
say his
stopped,
name.
Nobody stopped, nobody helped.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like a big thing on social media right now. I know, Stefano. I know you told us that you wrote your tweet article assignment about that. So how was that like writing experience for your like? What did you learn?
I learned that there's actually a lot more different incidences that have been happening throughout America where Asians are just being attacked or harassed in like for no reason. A lot of the videos that I've seen or a lot of the Asian victims have not really they didn't really do anything. So I mean it's really messed up to see because it could really be like anybody else. It could be my mom, my sister, and they could just be minding their own business and someone would just come out of nowhere and attack you for
Man, that's scary.
Yeah.
pretty scary.
So are these attacks racially motivated, or is it mostly, or is it like age motivated? What's going on? Why is this happening?
I read an article on how COVID-19 spiked the attacks on Asian Americans because everyone kept thinking that because they were Asian, they started the pandemic. So that really made me want to research it more on why did they keep thinking that?
Mhm.
And then people would just go out and they see any type of Asian, no matter what you are, and just attack them for no reason.
Yeah, and like it comes from, the ex-president that we had from all that he's spewed out, all the hate he's spewed out, all the name calling, the Chinese virus, Wuhan virus, and I think it just motivates his following to go out and like if they see any type of Asian person, no matter, where they're from, attack them, and that's kind of messed up. I mean, it is messed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of misdirected anger that came from the pandemic and having to quarantine and do all of these things. And people kind of wanted to have someone to blame, and they decided to go against the Asian community.
Right.
Yeah, so according to the LA Times, this article I was reading, it stated that the rise in the anti-Asian crimes occurred as total hate crimes against all minority groups, and it like dropped 7% from 1,845 to 1,717. Yeah, so it's like something that's been happening since last March, and it's just
Yeah.
We've heard about hate crimes happening for a long time. I mean, this stuff
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Different races and now
But because of this kind of this sort of like scapegoating that's been kind of directed towards Asian Americans, we've seen a spike in hate crimes against Asian Americans.
what do you mean by scapegoating?
Scapegoating, so like instead of blaming the real issue, kind of blaming it on something or someone else.
like blaming it on the virus, basically.
Like for example, like let's say that my cat has fleas and I'm blaming it on the cat for going outside, but in reality it's my fault for letting the cat go outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
not really addressing the issue or not really addressing like the actual problem and kind of finding someone else who's not going to stand up for themselves, blame it on them.
Yeah, so in this case, it would be kind of like instead of blaming the people not wearing masks or not quarantining and doing what they're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
they're blaming the Asian community for
Yeah.
supposedly bringing the virus in.
To put it yourself.
Right.
Yeah, so like kind of like unfairly blaming a person or a group of people.
Yeah, for like I thought you meant like you know how you said we were trying to blame the racism on something else. I thought you were saying like, oh yeah, we're using the fact that people are racist because of this virus, and we're trying to cover up racism by saying, you know, it's motivated by the virus and all that. So that's what I thought you were trying to say.
I'm saying Trump has sort of made Asian Americans the scapegoat for this
Right.
for the real issue of what's really going on.
I have a question for you guys. I was just thinking this by myself, but do you guys think what's going on now with the hate crimes and people hating Asian Americans because the President Trump said that Chinese virus came from China, and you guys think it's the same thing as when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and they put every Asian, Japanese, American into internment camps just because they were Japanese?
I think it's kind of like that, but we're not really putting people in camps, but we like people are still suffering, but
Right.
it's not to that degree.
Yeah, and I also think they still like haven't found out what caused the virus exactly. I heard that they were still like in January they were still researching
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
on.
like I said, it's kind of so we're not we are, but like I feel like people are using Asian Americans as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, truth is, like you said, I mean, we don't really know really where it originated or like where really it's kind of blurry still.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of back to what Moses said, I think it is similar in a way because there's this event that happened that gives people who are racist and who are looking for an excuse to attack a certain group of people. So it's kind of a similar situation where they're trying to use this thing that happened to justify their actions.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the similarities come in.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on to things like what people are doing in the community to try to combat this Asian hate crime. I read that people out in San Francisco, there's a community where people will go out passing out pamphlets with different translations on how to file a police report. There's like a language barrier between Asians and police sometimes. So
Yeah.
some people will walk the streets just passing out pamphlets or like hanging them up. And there's others who just kind of stand by and watch around and just kind of like be like neighborhood patrol. These people are just like kind of putting it on themselves to just make sure that their community are being safe. So I ask you guys, what do you think you could do to contribute to the Asian hate crimes to try to stop it or to try to play a role in it?
Yeah, well, when I was researching when I was like looking at articles on the issue, I found this website that if you like see an incident, you can report like what happened, and it says I'm on the website. It's stopaapihate.org, and as I'm on the website right now, it's like it's telling me I can file a incident, and it has like all these languages in which you can report it in just in case you don't speak English. And I think that's like a great way to bring more awareness to what's happening because not everybody's comfortable going to the police station to file a report. So I think this website's like a great way for someone who wants to stay anonymous maybe and still report the incident.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
different languages on there right now. That's cool.
I read an article on this lady. She was just chilling in Chinatown, San Francisco, and I guess she was being harassed. One of her friends seen her and went to the police and asked them if they can do anything about it. And the police said there's nothing they can do. The only thing they can do was walk her to her car.
Wow.
And that's like crazy to me because now the police can't even help. So what can you really do to really spread the word?
Wow, that's crazy. And that like just like I said, not everybody's comfortable going to the police because of
Right.
what you just said, because they think they won't be taken seriously. I
Right.
think on aapihate.org, I think the cases it said they go to like the FBI or something, so they can actually look into what's happening and not just the police.
Yeah, 'cause something I was reading about was how hard it is for like hate crimes to actually be processed as a hate crime, just because the definition for a hate crime is different in every state or like jurisdiction. So sometimes like there needs to be certain types of proof, or it just gets processed as assault or something less of a charge. So I think that website's cool that it goes directly to the FBI just so that it can be properly investigated, because a lot of times these types of crimes aren't properly investigated.
Now that phones are such a big thing and recording incidents is such a big thing, what you just said, like that sometimes the cases aren't properly processed because there's no evidence. I think also, recording the incident and posting it on social media is a great way for the word to get out and, bring awareness and sometimes even catch the perpetrator.
That's actually smart because especially everyone's quarantined right now. Everyone's just on their phone, just looking at social media. Just I feel like if everyone just spreads the word on social media, it'll get out and people will listen.
Okay, and let's see the website. What did you call it? What did you say? It was Stop
Stop
AAP.
AAPI.org.
Okay, so we're gonna put the link to that website in our bio so that people can take a look at it. If you need to report a hate crime, you can go to that website there and report it so that everyone's voice can be heard.
Yes, and they also have an Instagram, which is Stop AAPI Hate, and they have a link here with a bunch of different ways you can help and involve yourself in the movement. We hope you enjoyed our podcast. We want to thank you guys for listening to what we have to say and bringing more awareness to this movement, because as of right now it's not that big of a thing on social media, but I have seen it over the past few weeks progress and grow as more people have posted it on their Instagram stories, Twitter. We will be providing links down below on how you can involve yourself, how you can help. Thanks for listening, and I think this is the last you'll hear from us, because once again we are the One Night Only podcast. Thank you.
All right, good night.
Thank you everyone for watching.